Hello everyone, welcome to our Accounting 150 class. We're so grateful that you've joined us this semester. This should be your first foray into accounting at HAC, and we're so glad that you've chosen to be part of our class. So this video is just to help you find everything on our course webpage so that you're comfortable with where to find things so that you can get started right off the bat and jump in and be successful in this class this semester. So I put at the top of our page, this is what it should look like when you log in. It'll be a little different because you'll be using the student view. But it should have the things that you need most of the time right across the top, these icons. So when you need to find content, what you need to do, that's in content. When you want to find discussions and ask questions, that's there. Dropbox is how we'll turn in assignments. If you want to check your progress, any grades, anything you've done, what you have done and haven't done, that's in class projects. Grades to check and see what your scores are as they come in. Send me an email. And then maybe most important one, resources, which is where you'll be able to find instructions and help with the course, with the technology. The Brightspace resources is how you find help with this technology we're using to actually teach the class. If you're unfamiliar with using Zoom, which we'll use for any office hours, you can look at the resources on Zoom. If you need actual tutoring from a HAC tutor, those that have access to the same resources that you do, have spent time in class, who have read the same textbook that we're using, that would be available here, and you find the schedule by clicking on this link. There is, now that's limited to the times when our tutors are available. Smart Thinking is a 24/7 tutoring service. Now those tutors won't have our particular resources. They will have had an accounting class. They will have be very good students in that, but they may not have, and you would have to share with them maybe what you're working on a little more in detail, because they would not have that, be exposed to that. But they can still be very helpful, especially if you need help at a time when regular tutors are not available. If you are having trouble finding resources for any of our classroom activities that require research, there's a link to the library. So this is a very valuable spot where you can find help at any of the stages for our class. All right, always behind that, this icon right here on the top right. Then here in the middle, I will update the news feed. That's what we have here in the first. It will give you a snapshot at least every week of what's going on, what needs to happen, links to those things. This first one is just an introduction, and it points you to the syllabus, that sort of thing. Very soon you'll get the updates, which will for the most part will be from the school, but also things that come up due on the calendar. You have my ugly mug here on the right hand side to make sure you remember what I look like, and if you need something to throw a dart at, you can print that out. More importantly, my contact information, my personal Zoom room, my email outside of class. Now, I would encourage you to use the in-class email first, but this is also available, and I check both of them. I just usually check the ones in class first. And then down here is the calendar and what's called the contact browser. I find students don't usually even go this far down because we try to link to everything up higher on the page. But if you are curious as to what is coming up, you can look on the calendar if that's a better way to see what's happening. All right, so we want to go over, and we can even use our link right in the news feed to our syllabus. And maybe we can take a look at some of the things that are important there. There is my Zoom room again. That's how I will meet for any office hours. You can see my office hours for the spring term, 11:30 to 12:30 Monday and Wednesday, and Thursday evening 8 to 9. Those are times when I will just be on that Zoom room, and you can just jump on anytime. You don't have to make an appointment. If there are other times you need to meet or other questions you want to do face-to-face in that Zoom environment, please let me know and we'll make arrangements to have that happen. Office phone numbers, email address again, okay. A link to the drop dates for the class to make sure that you get your money back, other information about the class, our catalog description. Now, I want to point out the textbook. All right, textbook is a little bit unique, although it's becoming more common. This is a free online textbook that we are providing. Hack is provided. The link is here, and this is what that would look like. If you click on that link, I have not only put the link to the book itself here in the syllabus, it's also in the news feed, it's also in the introduction learning module, and every learning module has a link to the chapter for that learning module. So you've got multiple ways to access the textbook. So this is what the main page of the textbook looks like. If you would like a different format, under downloads here in the blue at the top of the page, you can download a full PDF of the entire textbook. You can buy a paper copy, which will cost you the cost of printing and shipping to get it. Not a lot of money, but still you'll have to pay something to have that sent to you. You can just print the book files there at home, wherever you are. All those things are available right here in the same spot. Each chapter is basically organized the same way. It has sections, and each section has the learning objectives, questions, and answers as far as reading the textbook and learning the material. So the way to do that is to read the question and then look at the answer to try to think if that's the kind of thing that you would think of as well. There are check yourself spots in the text which ask you to kind of consider questions about the material with the answers right there to see if you are thinking correctly. All right. Then there, at the end of each section, there are key takeaways to try to kind of review, kind of sum up what that section is about. And then you can move to the next section. Each section has that same organization. You can use the breadcrumbs to go back to the main page for the chapter. Homework is available always in the last section of the chapter. End of chapter exercises. All right, in that section there are questions about the chapter. There are true-false questions about the chapter. There are multiple choice questions about the chapter. Those are all good tools to see if you are learning what you read and remembering what you read from the chapter. If you will use them to review, I have provided in the learning module the answers to all of those and an explanation of all those questions, true, false, and multiple choice. So you could go through and do them and then check yourself. You could do them all, then check yourself. You could do one or two, and check just yourself on just that by using the answers I've provided. When it comes time to do homework, your homework will always be from the problems and research section. Okay, so it will never be the questions, the true, false, or multiple choice. It will always be a problem or a research problem in that last section of the chapter. So that's how you use the textbook, all right, in terms of finding everything you need and reading and learning that material. Now, back to the syllabus. The learning outcomes are next. Our expectations. Please ask for help if you need it, whenever you need it. Okay, a little bit about how the assignments and things that we're going to use for assessment. Tests, first of all those questions about what are the tests like. Okay, I don't want the test to in any way be a surprise. I want them to be entirely expected. The first midterm exam will be problem oriented. It will be done using an Excel spreadsheet. All right, I will tell you what type of problems will be on that first exam before you have an opportunity to take it. That'll be like the third week into the class. Then at the end, we will take a second or a final exam. That will be comprehensive. It will be multiple choice. It will have a time limit. The first one you'll have all week to work on it. You'll take it. It'll be basically completed much more like homework and you won't have any limit of time on it. You download it, you can look at it, you can come back to it, all that kind of thing. But the final will be multiple choice, short answer. You will open it. You'll have two hours to work on it before it will, shut it down. So you'll need to be, your preparation will be a little different for the final than it will be for the midterm. Each week there will be a discussion posting required. These are the graded discussions. The actual instructions will be available in each discussion, but you should make at least 2 postings. All right? One will be by Saturday. The other one will be by the following Tuesday. Each of them should be at least 2 or 3 complete sentences. They should be courteous, respectful. They should be full sentences, easy to read, clear writing. If you are making any references you make to other postings should be clear and specific. So you're doing an initial and you're doing a follow-up, and you need to make sure you read through all the instructions in the discussion board to make sure you're responding to all of the issues that are brought up in those. So those will be full credit if you follow all of those deadlines and do a good job of explaining yourself. Then we'll have some memos assignments. We'll have 2 memos, but we're going to do them each memo twice, meaning we're going to complete a rough draft, turn it in, get feedback, rewrite it, and submit it a second time in a different Dropbox for another score. So the total points will be 40 points, 10 points for the rough draft 1, 10 points for final draft 1, 10 points for rough draft 3, or rough draft 2, and final draft 2 will be worth 10 points. Notice the information about citations, okay, and references there that is in the instructions. Towards the end of the semester, or our term together, our 7-week term, we're going to be assigned to groups, okay, and we're going to do a ethics project. That information, the detail about that will be in the Dropbox. You'll work as a group, you'll be assigned that, and each group will just turn in one paper that will describe their answers to the ethical challenges that are faced in the case. Homework. As I pointed out, where to find the homework. This is a little bit about what that homework, we're going to do with that homework. You're going to complete that homework based on the explanations that are provided, reading the textbook, all of that good stuff. And then when you have done so, you will be able to review a podcast that I have made that explains my coming to the answers to that problem. You then have the opportunity to make corrections to your homework and resubmit it to the same Dropbox. All right? So you're going to do that, and there's the due dates and cutoff dates are in the Dropbox, but generally your homework is due on Saturday, and you have till the following Monday to make corrections. You can do that anytime during the week. You can do it earlier or later, as long as it's done by early in the week, late in the week, as long as it's done by Saturday for the first and follow up by Monday. If you do it and make corrections, you get the same credit as if you had done it perfectly before, just as it's noted here. Please take your corrections seriously. They should be in a different color and have some explanation. To get full credit, you can't just make corrections. You need to make corrections and make explanation. That will help you learn from your corrections. So you're learning from your mistakes. That's the whole idea. Here is our class activities and calendar. This will also be in the calendar on the website. The grading, our makeup policy, absence, and academic dishonesty, meaning do your own work. And if you have a question on what that means, please ask me. So that is the syllabus, as we found a link to back in our content in our class. Now, each in our class introduction. Also in that, and a link to is our introduction, my information about me personally, and give you a chance to tell us a little bit about yourself. We hope that you'll participate there. Now, if we look at each of our content modules, they all start the same way. They all have some learning objectives. They have some messages to start with, perhaps some memes or other things that help us get motivated to learn. Okay? There are then the link to the chapter. There will be a PowerPoint presentation about the chapter. There will be the answers, as I mentioned, to the multiple choice, true, false, and question parts at the end of the chapter. And there will be an explanation of the PowerPoint, my lecture or explanation, if you will. All of which is designed to prepare you to participate in the discussion, which is the next sub-module in each learning module, and then to dig into the assignments. So the assignments in this first week include our first memo. Specific instructions are in the Dropbox, the homework, and then once you have completed that homework, you'll be able to see this. And you can go in this right now. You will not be able to use this homework review link because you will not complete the homework. Once that is submitted into the Dropbox, this link will become active and you'll be able to watch that video showing the answers. So that's how class works. All right, we're so excited to work with you and have you learn accounting. So please don't hesitate to ask questions in any of the discussion boards at any point in time, and we'll get right back to you as needed. Okay? Go back through the syllabus again, perhaps. Read it on your own. If there's any questions, there is a discussion board for that area as well. All right. Thank you.